everyone. Welcome. We have the lovely Liplocked joining today.
Hello, darling.
So yesterday, we'll just get right into it, right?
Sure.
Yesterday, I had brought up something Matt Gilbert sent to me. Well, let's see who's in the chat. Let me see who's in the chat. Patty Ponytail, Flower Power, Janica, the lovely Liplock, Penny, Melissa, Rosemary and Thyme, love that. Crime and Conspiracy, Gail, hi Tina, Cool Gamer, Miss Robin, Dazed and Confused, good to see you. Yolper Girl, Daylin and Brenda G, Wandering Hearts, Lex Luthor, Darzilla, Texas Gal, Debbie, welcome everyone. I think I have slow chat on to 20 seconds, or did I put it on? Let me pull up my chat. So yesterday I had brought up Mr. John Allan Biggins, and I am going to hey we Scottish Mom, Guidance, Canadian Cookie, Sasha, Moonlight Magic, Sunshine, welcome everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up what I brought up yesterday. What is WJHL? How could I forget that? Biggins. Okay. Okay, so let me share my screen, and sometimes I sound funny. Cotton Candy Boobs, hello. Squids, Flip Flop, Tanya, LTL, Kimkins, BC Proud, hey. Welcome, everyone.
I almost said cotton candy boobs, and then I was like, no, shut up. It's not your channel. Let her say
You
it
can
first.
say it. Yes, say it.
Cotton candy boobs.
Now Liplock is joining me because she knew a little bit more and emailed me some great ideas of what we should pull up for you guys today. So we're gonna do that. This officer, corrections officer, named John Allan Biggins, used to work for Hawkins County, and actually currently, at the time of his arrest on July 8th this year, just last month, almost a month ago, was working for Sullivan County. Now, Sullivan County helps in the search and has been helping with Summers cases and with many other cases as well, which is very scary because we are, I wonder if it will help. I'm going to pull up the link. I'm just going to mute because sometimes it sounds funny, but it's alarming because we're supposed to put our trust in law enforcement, but we have law enforcement being busted in stings on the dark web, who it's specific stings looking for adults trying to purchase children. And we have law enforcement, not one, but at least two that we just pulled up within the last 24 hours, who have worked for both Hawkins and Sullivan, who have records, and John Allan Biggins admits and confesses to the R of 8-year-old to 12-year-old children. And he was busted trying to pick up a 4-year-old little girl. Okay?
Yeah.
Let me find this link. I'm going to let Liplock have the floor here because I'm going to mute because sometimes it sounds funny when I share screen. So I'm going to get this all set up. Just give me like 90 seconds.
Well, now I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. I'll be right back.
I hope everybody's doing okay today. I'll chat with you a second here while Cher's getting set up. I'm not sure what link she's going to pull up. Hi, in Sherry's Opinion and Sunshine Daydream. Hi, Rhiannon Benson and Darcella Lupons. LTL. Delin, killer looks. Hi. Penny with a thought. Good to see you guys. Grandma cares. Cotton candy boobs. I love saying that. Tanina and Gail. I'm just scrolling back up through Cher's chat here, saying hi to you. Here, she's back now.
I heard killer fam. Welcome. See, yep, I'm echoing, so I'll just
not
work with me.
You're not echoing on my end, babe.
Okay, good. It's so weird when it does that. Okay. So first thing I'll pull up is what I read yesterday. And this is about the officer, John Allan Biggins, okay? Sullivan County, Tennessee, in a federal affidavit, undercover officers allege that a former Sullivan County corrections officer told them, now they're saying former, but upon his arrest, he was fired. So that, I mean, former, like July 8th, less than a month ago, we're talking. So yeah, they're trying to cover their asses there. But yeah, that former Sullivan County corrections officer told them explicit details about prior sex act with a child before he tried to meet with them for other acts. He's confessing to sexual acts with children. To what he doesn't know is undercover officers doing a dark web sting, again looking for people selling and buying children. According to the documents filed on July 8th, Homeland Security investigation officers conducting a dark web sting operation came into contact with the man identified as John Allan Biggins. Biggins, who was a Sullivan County corrections officer at the time of contact, allegedly reached out to an account managed by Homeland Security, posing as an adult with access to a minor on an unnamed website referred to as Website X. Please do not do any Googlings or looking up any of these websites. I cannot condone that. It is not a good idea. So just, warning there. Biggins allegedly said hello before describing past sex acts with a child from the ages 8 to 12. Like, he wasted no time, y'all. He said, oh, hey, blah, 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 blah. I did this and this and this. Like, wasted no time. That's pretty sick.
Now I have to lay on.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll work with it.
Okay.
So far, what are you thinking about that?
Well, of course, one of the first things that blew me away was the fact that he said hello and right told about his past performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Welcome to the Crazy Train, BC Proud. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Choo choo. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's terrible.
I also found it interesting that he was fired when he was arrested after being arrested.
Right.
And well, that was my first reaction, actually. But then I got to thinking, well, Sullivan County Sheriff's Department didn't know the investigation was going on. Then that's actually a good thing. It would mean that Homeland Security kept it under wraps. Yeah, I've got a really bad echo on my end.
I think it's my fault. That's why I was muting. So if I mute when you talk, we'll try to work with it. We won't be sharing screen the entire time, you guys. So just if we can work with it. Okay. Justiniya, we understand.
Okay. I'm not echoing.
No, see, it's my end, guys. I'm not sure why it does that. We've been trying to work on that, but I'll try to. I gotta read it to you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna try and mute when I ask Liplocked something, or I can unshare the screen. It should help. So just work with us. Sorry.
Well, or I can be
Maybe if you
quiet.
mute while I read it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'll be quiet while you're presenting the material. And then once you stop screen sharing, I can unmute and we can discuss. Will that work?
Yeah, that works. So I'll read through it and then I'll ask you questions. How's that, guys?
That'll work for me, sweetie, if that works for you.
Okay, that sounds good. All right.
Okay.
I'll get through it right now.
Okay.
Okay, let me share screen again. Hey, Molly Brown Uptown, looking beyond. Hey, everyone. Hey, Squid. I think if you share tab, not screen, or vice versa, it should be better. Okay. Darn it. I just started learning how to do this, y'all, without Mr. Share. Okay, here, let me get through this. I'll just read it and then I'm going to take it off and we'll discuss. Okay, so after moving from the dark web site to another application, the affidavit states that Biggins continued to describe the acts to officers before speaking about a fictional 4-year-old mentioned by the undercover account. So what they're saying is, and I probably don't have to describe it for you, but what they're saying is they lured him with a 4-year-old child, saying that they had access to a 4-year-old child. They could get Mr. John Allan Biggins, and he took that bait. It sounds like, allegedly, we will say. So again, after moving from the dark website to another application, it states that Biggins continued to describe the acts to officers before speaking about a fictional 4-year-old mentioned by the undercover account. Undercover officers with Homeland Security say they conversed with Biggins from June 14th to July 8th. Okay, so we're at 3 weeks about, right? So that's quite a while that this man was interested in a child. There's no oopsie mistake, misunderstanding about this, okay? And again, let me point out here, look what they are promoting in this story. And if people think, well, that's nothing, Cher, I'm sorry, but we have to realize that, media does things with a purpose. And yeah, I don't like that, we're promoting Summer Wells' case and Don Wells' letters to kidnappers in this story about an officer who has helped in this case. Ugh, gross. So, undercover officers with Homeland Security say they conversed with Biggins from June 14th, y'all, of this year, okay, to July 8th. And during the conversations, he allegedly made plans to travel and meet with the fictional adult at the predetermined location. So we can keep saying allegedly and dancing around it, but as we read on, dude went to the hotel. He traveled. He didn't allegedly. He traveled. When he arrived at the location at a hotel in Hendersonville, North Carolina, okay? There's no alleged about that. He traveled to go meet somebody about a 4-year-old child. It said he further discussed past incidences with another child. When he left the undercover officer to go to a nearby vehicle, he was arrested without incident. When searching Biggins, officers say they found a loaded handgun. According to Sullivan County Sheriff's Office spokesperson, Biggins was immediately fired from his position as a corrections officer when his supervisors were made aware of his arrest. There was a video. Let me just find that really quick and I'll pull that up. Again, this article was put out 2 weeks ago and he was arrested on July 8th. So
I found the fact that he was carrying a loaded handgun very disturbing.
Yeah.
Because of what he thought he was on his way to do.
100%. Exactly how I thought. And some people will say, well, he was an officer, it's typical. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, my response to that is what the fuck ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Because he wasn't on duty, he was traveling across state lines
Yep. To meet a
off
man.
duty, thinking he is meeting the mother of a 4-year-old child in order to
Yes.
have.
Yep.
So when I read loaded handgun, I was like, whoa, whoa. What were your intentions with that, sir?
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's. Yeah.
Just in case? Just in case what?
Right. Either for the child, the parent, or both. Like, what were
Yeah.
you.
What are you thinking? He wasn't anticipating meeting law enforcement and having to shoot it out.
Right. Or he wouldn't have shown up. I mean,
Right. Right. He thought he was meeting mom and a 4-year-old at this hotel with a loaded
mm-hmm.
handgun. And I don't know.
Just disturbing.
Very disturbing.
It just gets worse and worse.
And share, honey, when this first popped up on WJHL, and I subscribe to them on YouTube, so I get the notification.
Mm-hmm.
And when it popped up, of course, I click on it. And right at first, admittedly, I was like, well, it's Sullivan County, it's right next door.
Mm-hmm.
Probably doesn't have anything at all to do with summer. I don't know. I just kind of was almost in a place of blowing it off. And
Right.
and something, I and I can't tell you what, something made me start scrolling
Wow.
after
I'm
putting
glad you
his
did.
name. Something, well, rewind that a minute. Actually, something made me enter his name in my Google search bar. I just wanted to see if there was anything else out there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the other news reports were the same official news release, right? So I keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And that's how I discovered that he had worked for Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, because there was an article way down on page 1 that he's mentioned in twice as a jailer in an altercation with someone who was incarcerated there and was. Don't let me go too off in left field on you, because I will. But the article itself, which was March of 2017, and I thought I sent you the link for it, but maybe I didn't. Okay, he and 2 other jailers have an altercation with a prisoner who has threatened to decapitate someone in the Hawkins County Jail.
Oh.
And with I don't know, like with a machete or something. I don't know how he would even have one, whatever on that part of it. The
Mm-hmm.
important part of the article was John Allan Biggins was one of the corrections officers involved in the altercation at Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. And I went, wait just a minute. 4 years before Summer went missing, he worked in Hawkins County.
Wow.
And that is why I made a video. Like an hour later, I'm putting up a video on my channel going, could mean something, could mean nothing.
When did you do your video? I missed that. It
That
must
very
have been.
day, honey,
Okay.
I, not like breaking my arm, patting myself on the back, but I'm pretty sure I was the first YouTuber to put out a piece after WJHL, because I saw that and I was like, when did he leave Hawkins County? Why did he leave Hawkins County? Was he fired or did he quit?
Yeah.
That's why I sent you the other things I had looked at with just ideas that have dates. Like this morning earlier, and here again, tell me to muzzle whenever you need me to. But I was looking at some stuff.
Really quick, what was the label of that video? I'm pulling your video.
Oh, honey, let's see. It should have his name in the title.
Okay. Okay, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. This morning I was looking at
Found
some
it.
stuff on Jimmy Ray Neal because that's another topic, another person that you were going to talk about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and looking at stuff on Biggins as well. And I found let's see, it was, I think I sent you the link to it. It's a video that's like an honors memorial for fallen officers in Hawkins County.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I was trying so hard with my poor vision. I'm like scrunched up on my screen on the PC and I'm like, is he in there? Is he in that lineup? Couldn't see him. But the reason I was doing it was because that's a dated piece.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, if he's in there, then that means he worked for Hawkins then. But I couldn't see if he was in the lineup. So that was the other idea was their dance off challenge.
Yeah,
That
you know what? I want to do that. Yes, let's do that
Yeah,
right now before I forget. Now, my emails, I got to figure out how to get that. Hi, everyone coming in. We're not ignoring you. Um,
yeah. Hi, Nano for life.
Nano, Looking Beyond, Aussie Girl, Woolen, Woolstenholme, Misty C, Sonia, hello, Autumn Love. Hi, everyone. Okay, let's pull up. You guys remember the all of the Hawkins County officers doing the Pharrell Happy dance challenge? Uh,
I got a copyright claim when I played it on my channel, but
so did I. I know. I covered. Oh yeah, here it is. I should have sold it 4 years ago. Liplock.
I know. See, that's why I'm thinking he might be in it. Maybe.
Time Times News Online, which is,
Yeah,
by the way, this is Tim Mullen recording this. Wow. Okay,
yeah.
so we got Tim Mullen recording this. I am gonna pull this up, and
Okay, I'm
we're
going to mute. I'm because
so
you're going
am I.
to. Okay.
So will I, because it'll probably help. But we're okay. Getting our ads taken off for a copyright claim over here, as long as we're trying to bring awareness. So don't y'all worry about that. I'll take it. It just means there won't be ads on this, and you're welcome. Oh, 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 oh. Hold up. Wait a minute. I gotta share my screen. Let me mute. Question, if I mute, I'm going to try this really quick. If I'm muted, can you still hear the sound when I share screen? Let's try it. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can still hear the video when I'm muted. I have no idea. Hey, not so dumb blonde. Can y'all hear? No? No? Okay, so I won't mute. All right, let's try this again. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now we're looking for John Allan Biggins, which is the gentleman in the thumbnail on this live stream as well as last night's live stream. So we're looking for him in this lineup. And this is Tim Mullen recording this, by the way. 100% it's his YouTube channel. If you think you see him lip lock, just holler and I'll pause it.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take a break. I'm a hot air balloon that could go to space. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Cause I'm happy. Like a room without if you feel.
Is that?
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a
him?
room without a roof.
Was that him standing up against the wall?
I wish we had a shot of him.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna keep digging and Googling, so we may find it.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Cause I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Cause I'm happy. Clap along.
Oh, all right. I gotta ignore chat for a minute because I want to look at everyone. Everyone look.
Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news, talking this and that. Well, give me all you got and don't hold it back.
Oh, she's cool.
Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like.
Is it?
Because I'm happy. Clap along to you.
No, that's.
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too
Hold up.
bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Clap along if you feel like a room without. Clap along if
4 years. That looks similar. I don't think that's him, but also remember this is 4 years ago. He could look a little bit different.
you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too bring me down, can't none bring me down. I said,
That dude looks pretty similar.
If you feel like that's
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to have Mr. Share kind of unblur that a little. He's short and stout. I would say that guy looks similar. Can't quite. He does have the bald there. I'll see if we can have the mister clear that up a little bit better.
what you want to do.
As you see, the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is all about fulfilling the challenge. They've done extremely well. The men and women of the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office not only protect and serve their family here, their family at home. They're good people.
So Ronnie
I love 'em, I
Lawson
appreciate it. I hope
definitely
you do too.
has been friendly with
And
Tim
hope you
Mullen
enjoy
before.
our
This is
video.
Tim Mullen's channel.
I challenge the police departments in Hawkins County, the Rossville Police Department, the Churchill Police Department, the Mount Carmel Police Department. Let's see what you got, guys and girls.
Wow. Unbelievable. But this is Tim Mullen. So again, not only has he been recording the church before Summer went missing, but also Ronnie Lawson and his team.
Isn't that interesting? Well, I didn't see anyone in it. You know, of course, here again, I've got really bad vision, but
Yeah,
that one guy that you pointed out, kind of
similar,
maybe.
but
But
yeah.
I just wish that somewhere we could see a full body shot of this guy rather than just the mug shot.
Yeah, let's see. Well, because he'd have to be
And
like he's got
and maybe I'm being too, I don't
Is
know,
it John Allan or Jason? John.
John Allan. Maybe it doesn't matter, Sheriff, when he left Hawkins County. It just is bugging me. Do you ever have that happen?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Where you're like, it may mean something, it may mean nothing, but I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know. You know, I also want to know if, as a CO in Sullivan County, if he was involved in the search for Summer.
I think he was. I'd like to find if anyone knows. I mean, I can get them. But if we have, there's pictures out there of, you know, when the searches happened, if we can try and pinpoint, but that'll probably be hard as well. Yeah. But.
And of course, we can't call up Hawkins County Human Resources Department and say, hey, when did John Allan Biggins leave your employ and under what circumstances? I mean, because it's, you know, it's in his personnel file. They're not going to tell us that. So,
yeah.
I made a note while you were screen sharing a while ago with the story before the dance video when you were talking about how media promotes stories. I just wanted to back you up on that. That popping up about Donald Wells having a letter right in the middle of that story, that's not by any stretch of the imagination an accident.
No.
And I don't know how many of you, now my viewers know, but I don't know how many of your viewers know that for several years in the early 1980s, I was a news director for a television station, and I was the 6 and 10 o'clock news anchor. So right. I know, and I work for a newspaper, and I've worked for radio news. I know how this works. The placement of that was very specific, you know? Can't hear you. I can't hear Cher. Can you guys hear me? Oh, I'm full screen. I still can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? I know Cher is muted somehow right now. Okay, Autumn Love is saying that you can. You can hear me, but not Cher. I can't hear her either. I've got to learn to do what she was doing there. Another creator in my live chat was trying to help me out during a live stream the other day about how to be able to switch over to my phone.
There.
There
Okay,
you
I
are.
can't do it. Give me 90 seconds. I will be right back. I'm so sorry. You have the floor, Liplocked.
Honey, it's fine. You're fine. Okay. Hi, Shorty Small. Hi, Alley Cat's mom. Hi, Bee's knees. Hi, Smiley Stories World and Not So Dumb Blonde, Darzilla, Jenna Sweet Tea. Shorty Small is one of my mods. Hi, Section 2, Number 1. A while ago, I can't remember who it was, asked me in the chat if I thought there was a connection between Summer Moon Utah Wells and Michael Monkey Vaughn's disappearance. I have answered that question before on my channel, and it was the day of the press conference with Police Chief Huff from Fruitland, Idaho. And here would be my position on that. I can see where there could be. I can see where there's a potential. However, until law enforcement tells me there's a connection, there isn't one. So, hi, Chris. So I have my own thoughts about possibilities, but in the overall, I truly, in most of the time, especially with Chief Huff. Now, if Ronnie Lawson had said that, don't get me started. But because Chief Huff said it, I'm gonna go with him.
Muted.
See, Not So Dumb Blonde, that's a question I've asked before about the Cher, do you remember, and here again, it's off topic really, so maybe I should save it for another.
No, go ahead. What is it?
Well, honey, do you remember way back when, almost 14 months ago or, okay, when there was talk about a pilot having taken the brothers for a flight and on that day on my bulletin board, and I've got a box full of Post-it notes on the different cases that I work. Summer's is the most full. Summer for a ride.
Now, do you remember? I dug into that. And
Did you?
I got a hold of my research led me to a let me pull it up really quick. A company who does that. And my interactions were really weird. And I've been actually thinking I should cover it again. So when I brought up this company, nothing was ever denied about that. Let me pull it up quick.
Well, baby, I don't want to derail
your
outline for what you've got planned today.
And
here again, I'm getting, I hope your audience doesn't think I'm just totally out there. Of course, they're kind of used to me as a mod for you, but I just got goosebumps. Okay. And I told Mark when I had the Sunday morning coffee with Mark on his channel, I told him that morning, I said, I don't know what it is, but I feel this strange connection with Cher. And I hadn't thought about the pilot and that situation until right before I said it right now. It just popped into my head. I didn't remember that you had done research into that.
Yep. And I don't,
There's been a lot of water under the bridge, baby.
yep. I'm
Oh,
going to
and
pull it up
you,
because I'm glad you mentioned it because it's been on my mind. And the reason why it recently came back to my mind, it never really left. This company has now started doing YouTube lives. And I, of course, went in the live 2 days ago and said, "Oh, y'all are going live now." But this the owner of the company, the runner, whatever he is, contacted me and had asked me, you're wrong. Can you not talk about it? And I was like, well, how about you have a discussion with me? Because this is where my research led me. And I'm sorry, but like, it is what it is, And he did. He came on live with me. And, it does kind of go along and I'm going to pull it up because now I'm interested.
I can't believe I missed all that.
You know what? It says here I did that 7 months ago. And yeah, you bring that up, and just within the last 2 days, I've actually been thinking about re-showing this anyway. So
That's
that's
what
a
I mean
sign.
about this weird connection I feel with you. It's like I hadn't thought about it, and here you are, and then it pops in my head, and you've been thinking about it. It's
Yeah,
almost like,
because it's weird. The
yeah,
entire interview is weird, and
okay.
he specifically starts talking about the trafficking too, which he knew. Like, he still came live with me knowing my thoughts and feelings that it was possible that this program's kind of weird. You'll give any kid a flight, and even if they miss a ride, you'll come back for them for free. And I was watching videos. You'll see. I'm just going to pull it up because it's just better that way.
Okay, I'm going to mute.
Okay, am I sharing screen? Not yet. Okay, all right, here we go.
Move this to the kitchen hub.
Shot no.
Wow, look at that. It's playing in the kitchen now. Right next.
There's that also, how Don has even said to me, you guys remember, I think it's even in text, David Dotson came to the church, got to know Summer, and left. So that's weird also, but that's a whole nother show as well.
Next to all the dishes you left in the sink.
Well played.
Build your helpful home. Save on Google Nest bundles.
Teaching our kids what's important
Here I
can
go
be
with
so
ads.
hard, right? They look to us to learn everything.
Okay, hi everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Don't panic. Chrissy
That's my
G,
cutie.
Heather. He's so handsome. Go and sip. Scooby Mom. Amy. Everybody. Okay, totally off topic, but you guys see how I would try to talk to not show my busted ass teeth. I'm so happy I don't worry about my teeth no more. Hey, Squids, Leslie. All right, let's. Okay, you guys. So we have Dick backstage, and right off the bat, I would like to ask the mods to make sure there's no disrespect happening tonight, and everyone just listens and kind of educates themselves. So he was kind enough, after we had put that video up, because people were, sending links around, as we do in the true crime community. Hey, Toodles. He was kind enough. He reached out and just said, I think you have this all wrong. And he explained everything right to me. And I just asked. That's right. I vaguely brought them up. He reached out to me, which I'll do another whole show, and I'll show all the conversations and everything, because it gets weird. Even in our private conversations, it's weird. Tammy Ayo. All right. Asked him, would he be willing to do an interview this evening so that, you guys could hear. The program is all about the young Eagles, young youth Eagles, young Eagles. Well, please do some research into this and watch some videos of this company and whatnot, because I am going to do another show, another all-nighter study session, and this is definitely going to be a part of it, and I'll show the texts and emails leading up to this interview and after the interview as well. I'm just going to bring him up and he can tell us all about it. Hello, am
Good
I getting
evening.
that right? It's the young. Okay, Liplocked. Now, everyone listen, because I know there's some who have not seen this. So listen. Holler at me, Liplock, if you want me to pause to say anything. And yeah, because I am actually now really eager to see your guys' reactions, because there are a lot of newer people today than I had 7 months ago. Eagles.
That's exactly right. The Young Eagles program from the
Now, I was calling the program helping, possibly, I was alleging and saying that there was conspiracies and I felt off about this program. It made me feel off. It made me definitely think, okay, well, when we think about trafficking rings, we need certain people who are involved in this, right? Do we not think helicopters and planes and such are used as well? So, okay, I'll shut up now. I'm actually going to mute as well. No, you can't hear it. Okay, I'm just going to shut up.
Experimental Aircraft Association, better known as EAA in the
EAA.
aviation world. And the Young Eagles program is a program that's been around since 1992. And what we as EAA members throughout the country and around the world do is introduce kids to aviation, absolutely free of charge. Our members, our volunteer pilots, take kids up, introduce them to aviation, show them the possibilities in the world of flight. And we've flown more than 2.2 million kids since 1992 in everything from hot air balloons to the Goodyear blimp.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is awesome. The echo is from then. So sorry, guys. Oh, I think we're echoing a little bit. Yeah, is that us? It's not too bad, I
It's
don't
not
think. Now, right off the bat, I'd like to ask you, with the couple articles that we found online, I had mentioned to you, a couple of us had our radars kind of go off with each kid was holding a playing card, different numbers, different colors, and that. Could you kind of just go through that to explain it? You can explain it much better than I could tell everyone, so I wanted them to hear it from you.
Oh, sure. And, I certainly know it's such a big issue that you folks are on that we certainly support making sure that sex trafficking, especially child sex trafficking, doesn't take place. So it's a very, very important subject. And so we're happy to talk about that.
And you were very understanding, actually, when we discussed it privately. You had reached out and you actually very kindly said, could you remove that video? I think you have some things wrong. And you were very open right off the bat with me, and you understood how some of us made the connection, and you were very understanding and really open to bringing the education for everybody so we could understand. And I think that's great. So
Oh, certainly. That's the best way to do it, by conversing with one another. But the playing cards in the photos that you saw from that newspaper article from a Young Eagles flight rally, which was hosted by one of our EA chapters. We have more than 900 of them throughout the country. They do grassroots aviation in hometowns throughout the entire country. And those Young Eagle rallies bring a lot of kids together, anything from a dozen kids to maybe even 75 to 100 kids sometimes. And we get the volunteer pilots come in and they fly those kids throughout the day. And the playing cards are actually used by chapters for a couple of different reasons. One of them is to match up kids to pilots. And so sometimes we'll have a whole bunch of pilots there, but we want to make sure that all of them give equally the same number of flights. So one doesn't get worn out and another pilot doesn't fly anybody. So often chapters will hand out playing cards to say, okay, if you have a suit of diamonds, you'll be going with this pilot. If you have a suit of clubs, you'll be going with this pilot, and so on and so forth. So it helps organize things on the front end. The particular rally that you saw, we actually talked to the chapter and said, tell us about the playing cards. And the playing cards are for after the flight. What we do is we take a photo of the pilot and the young eagle that we then give to the young person and their parents, so they have a keepsake from that flight. And I'll tell you a little bit more about what each flight entails as we get into the program. But a lot of times you have so many kids that they start looking alike after a while at that age. And so what we do at that point is saying, okay, you're holding the 10 of diamonds. That means we have your photo with the 10 of diamonds attached to it. Just take that playing card there and we'll make sure we get the right photo to the right kid and the right parents. And so you have a keepsake of that day. It makes things a little more organized for some chapters out there. So again, can understand where it came from, but that's the background for it.
That makes perfect sense. Some people were actually saying that
Sorry.
in the comments, like, I bet it's to pick which pilot they go with. So
And
they
some
were right
chapters
on.
do that. You're exactly right. And some chapters do that because you get a lot of kids that come out there for flights, and it is a one way that chapters use to organize things. So we're very happy to do it, and especially to fly the kids and to introduce them to aviation.
I had a question and now it left me. I think you have the links we can show. I wanted. I think we're gonna show a couple of those links.
Okay.
Hey, Killer
This, okay.
Looks. Hey, Twin Cities. Can you see the chat, Dick?
I can, yep.
Oh, okay, awesome. And the YouTube channel, it's a foundation, right? Am I saying
Right.
that correct?
EAA and the EAA Aviation Foundation is our benefactor arm of it. And so people, when they support the program, they support the foundation, which then gives the funds to the Experimental Aircraft Association. It's one umbrella organization that allows us to take the kids up. And we typically, in a typical year pre-COVID, fly about 75,000 kids a year throughout the entire country. And we have had more than 50,000 pilots participate since the start of the program back in 1992. And we've had pilots from all over. I've flown some Young Eagles myself. We have had some pilots who have flown more than 5,000 kids, all on a volunteer basis, donating their time, the airplane, the fuel to do it, to introduce kids to aviation. And what's happened is we know that more than 20,000 pilots that are under age 40 right now got their start by getting a Young Eagles flight someplace in the country. So somebody who's flying your airliner right now, the young pilots, very good possibility that they got started with their aviation enthusiasm by taking that first Young Eagles flight for absolutely free.
Wow. And you just answered what I was going to ask you next. Is you've seen much, like a lot of the kids then, like see this as a career path once they get up there. You said some people, or some of the kids are kind of like nah, but then when they land, it's kind of a whole different kid that's landing.
It is, and just to see the smiles on the kids' faces when we take them up. Some of them have a little trepidation when they start. And there's one friend of mine who's a pilot who said the first time he took one kid up, they took off and the kid had his eyes closed, just like this. And he just covered his eyes. And he started looking out and saying, hey, can you find your school down there? Can you find your neighborhood? We're over your hometown right now. And pretty soon the eyes started to open up like this. And by the end, he's looking out the window and he's pointing out things and bounced out of the airplane and yelled to his mom, that was so cool. When can I do that again? And right then, we know we've got somebody linked to aviation that knows about aviation, and just to introduce them, because so many times I think people in general, and especially kids, they think of aviation as going to the airport, standing in the TSA line, getting on the jetliner someplace, landing, if they're going to Disney World or whatever, and then hoping your luggage catches up with you at some point. But aviation is so much more than that. It involves all the STEM, the science, technology, engineering, and math. It involves learning about meteorology, and it's such a sense of accomplishment taking an airplane and learning to fly and be able to use that to go anywhere you want. It's said if you build a mile of road, you can go 1 mile. If you build a mile of runway, you can go anywhere. You take the airplane and go do it. So that's what we try to do with Young Eagles, introduce kids to aviation, break down those fences that they have to look through right now at airports, and introduce them to the airplane, to what is the possibility for them.
I think that is great. I want to bring up one of the clips here.
Oh, got him here.
The 25 years and counting here. Yeah, that one.
And while you do that, I see one of the questions was, is this a nationwide program? Absolutely. We have EAA chapters throughout the country. We have members throughout the country who fly kids. And so People can go online at eaa.org/Young Eagles and find out more about it. And there's a guide for parents there and so forth.
And you'll see in the comments, there is a pinned link to, there is a way, should you guys want to donate to this foundation. And also in the description of this show, you will find the YouTube channel, their organization website, and all of the links for the EAA as well in the description. Hey, Jay, glad you made it. We're going to start with the 25 years and counting clip and show you guys. Look at me going, yep. Could be bee's knees. I hope it is a nice program.
Unlock your full creative potential. Go to fxhome.com now and download the only video.
Oh, the volume is horrible. Let's kind of go.
As reaching across and fastening a seatbelt sometimes
Okay,
could be misinterpreted. We don't want that to happen.
This is an hour-long interview, but I will be playing this again if you guys want to go ahead and watch it yourself, so you'll see it. The EAA, it's from 7 months ago, and listen to it through. I do start asking a lot of questions, and I'm going to show our conversations before doing the interview and the little bit after, because the way he just jumped right into the trafficking, to me, I remember thinking it's weird because it was he was watching, you know what I mean? Like, because he reached out to me, so that's weird to me. With that little bit, what do you feel so far?
I don't like I don't like how he said at that age all kids look alike. I tend to pick out really strange things, Cher.
Yep. I remember.
I don't like that he said that, and I don't like that he used that in I don't like this card thing either.
Yes, me neither.
I don't know. It just, and here again, I can't put my finger on it. It just doesn't.
Let me show you what stuck out to me with the card thing, because that was the number one thing.
And what he was saying there sounded so practiced to me, like he had said this to the Rotary Club and the Optimists Club 100 million times. Like this is his usual spiel. This is to me. Okay. The way his phrases were measured. And because I do, I have a little spiel that I do at the end of my shows, for instance, and I almost say word for word the same thing every time. And it's just kind of comes rote. And everything he was saying to you was almost like, this is my presentation. I'm going to make my presentation that I make to the Optimist Club on here. So that bothered me. And I didn't like, I'm sorry, I don't have anything I did like. I don't like his remark about teaching the kids that if you can fly, you can go anywhere. If you can build a runway, you can go anywhere. And I think I have a jaded, you see, I'm not fair and balanced anymore like you still are.
I think I'm pretty, I mean, I try to still be fair, but I'm pretty jaded as well.
And I just, and everything connected with Summer, over all these months, honey, my mind automatically just will go to the dark side. This is bad. This is not good. But, why are they wanting to get 75,000 kids a year interested in aviation? And
if kids miss the ride, they'll go back. Yep, everything for free. And if a kid doesn't get a ride and they want one,
freaking aviation fuel is?
Yes, that's what I said.
Come on. I don't know. There's just, I'm sorry, Mr. Kapinski, if you see this, sir, I'm sorry, but There's something about your outfit doesn't sit right with me. I'm sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not making any accusations, or it just doesn't feel right.
Right. So what made him reach out to me was I did a short, and I can't seem to find it right now, but I must have made a community post as well. There is a in the trafficking world, there is a thing with playing cards. And there's even a lot, it's a thing. I'm going to actually see if I can find, and that is actually me bringing that up and comparing it to the children in this program holding up playing cards. That was one of my main questions to him, because it absolutely, the playing cards is one of the top things, like right away, that I remembered being part of a human, it's a human trafficking.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know how I
Cool.
said that they say to the kids, if you have this suit, then you go with this pilot.
yes. Yeah.
Are they dealt the cards randomly off of a deck like you're playing poker, or did they decide ahead of time? Diamond Pilot is taking these kids, and Club Pilot. How did you find out how that?
Yes, and it was something about matching the kids to the pilot. I can't remember exactly what he said, but that
So
was
it's not a random
that's in
draw
there.
of the cards.
Apparently not.
They're somehow matching the pilot up with the kid.
That's what he said.
I don't like that. I don't like
didn't
it.
like it either.
Sorry. I don't like it.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to go.
But I'm an overly suspicious person.
And I think that's good. I am too. A lot of the things, I can't say, because a lot of people don't like when I get my conspiracy cap on, but it's very hard not to do that, especially when, like, Don has talked to me, and you'll see when I start beginning to end, because I think it's about a good time now, because he'll be walking out of prison in like 2 months, right? And I think he's going to be a mouthpiece again, unless he's kept under lock and key like they've been doing with Candace. Okay, 7 months. So
Well, if the reports are accurate, he's getting out on my birthday, so I'm going to throw an R&R yeehaw party.
Oh, you should. Okay, I can't wait.
I don't
for
even
that.
drink, but hell, why not?
8 months ago. I'm trying to find. I know I posted it. Maybe I took it down because he asked me to, and I didn't want to get in trouble, because he did threaten to sue me.
Did you delete it or private it? Do you remember? You did.
I can't remember. I'm looking right now. But he did. So he reached out to me after showing the playing card thing and showing the trafficking playing cards and that situation. He reached out to me. I must have deleted it.
How do we even know to watch it?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know, because
I mean,
it's fucking
there's
weird.
like a billion YouTube channels out there. There's hundreds of us in the Summer Wells community. What drew his attention to your channel and your video?
It's a great question.
Did somebody get a hold of him and say, hey, this moment?
Right. Yep.
And see, when it comes to conspiracy, I remind myself and I remind my viewers the definition of conspiracy. It's more than one person. You and I are conspiring right now, okay? Because we're talking we're not conspiring to do something. So conspiracy could be just two people. I don't tend to go down the kind of tinfoil hat wearing is what I call them, conspiracy type thinking. But do conspiracies exist? Well, come on. Come on.
I think some do, and I think some,
of course, they do.
Stem from somewhere.
I mean, come on. There were plenty of them when I was a youngin', I can tell you that. And the government was involved in a majority of them. So,
yeah. So when he reached out to me what I had put out first. Somebody, yeah, like you said, somebody definitely had to have
They had
alerted
to.
him. So let me.
I mean, unless in your title it specifically had their name or his name,
Nope.
or you hashtagged them or something, there's no effing way
Right.
that he would have seen that without somebody telling him.
Somebody had to have, because I didn't know him at the time to tag him or anything. I didn't know him until he reached out to me and I got to know him. Here's part of what I was putting out before, and I was comparing it to the kids at this program holding up the cards. I thought it was weird. And if you watch through that, you'll see some pictures I show. I try to blur the kids' faces out, but if you Google it, it's not hard to see, or go to their website. It's not hard to see. A lot of the young children look, I don't like the looks on their faces.
Okay.
So, and I was mentioning that. Hey, Angel. Am I sharing screen? Can you see? And this is just one of many, but I mean, everyone, or many people, I think, know about the missing children playing cards, right? And there's also the women, like human trafficking women. So some of them, they would leave the playing cards like in public restrooms and stuff like that for women to take and have a number or a way to call this for help, right? But they'd be disguised as playing cards. And then you've got the playing cards that we all know. I think I had a set of these when I was younger somehow, with the missing children. They used to put missing children on playing cards. What the fuck? Okay. So yeah, when I started comparing that program and the children holding up playing cards and that, that's how he reached out to me. So I was actually calling out the company for possibly, allegedly having something to do with child trafficking and bringing up, Summer's brothers and stuff like that.
Is Dick Kapinski, is he the pilot that flew the boys? Do you know? Or
No, he's not the pilot that flew the boys. He doesn't say he doesn't know that pilot. I can't remember exactly. I have to watch through it all again because it was 7 months ago.
Yeah.
From my remembering, because it stood out to me and alerted me, and does now that I'm rethinking about it, he didn't do a lot of really denying of things, and was so free and open about talking about the trafficking of children. It was fucking weird. You'll see.
How does he know so much about trafficking of children?
It is bad. In fact, I think I'm just going to
most
pull
people
it back up again.
Most people I encounter don't even know it exists.
He was very, very.
So he was knowledgeable,
fluent. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, Mr. Kapinski, you just got on my radar, sir.
I'm glad you got to watch. Definitely go through this.
I will, honey. I'm going to go back and watch.
We welcome the parents to come out to the flight rallies.
Let's rewind this just a little bit. Yeah, let's just watch through some of it again.
She went on to Purdue University and earned her pilot certificate, and she's flying Young Eagles now. So the 2 millionth Young Eagle is now flying Young Eagles on her own, which is great to see.
That's full circle right there.
Yeah, that's
It is.
fantastic.
I love that. The next clip, okay, I want to show you guys the volunteer with the Young Eagles clip. I'll be watching the chat this time to make sure the sound is working right away.
Yeah, I think we got it figured out now. Are you ready for that one?
Yep.
Okay.
And I mean, he just, to reach out to me and threaten lawsuit on me or whatever, but then come up and do an interview that he knew was going to be asking him trafficking questions, that kind of made me feel weird too. Because if it was me as being accused of that or alleged or even brought into that in any way, I wouldn't be doing a live with that person. So that stood out to me too. Liplock, I'm sure a lot of you could understand. Like that kind of made me
But
feel like, okay, he's trying to
he's
cover
all
his butt.
nicey, he's all nicey and smiley with you.
Yeah,
And this
it's
guy threatened a lot.
made
It's
me feel
kind of
odd.
creepy.
Yeah.
It's creeping me out.
Oh, shit.
Hey, did we lose the echo? I'm not echoing.
I'm not sure.
As a Young Eagles coordinator, I do all the behind the scenes things, organizing the rallies
Creepy
and
vibes.
making sure we have enough volunteers, ground volunteers and pilot volunteers.
I'm a Young Eagles pilot. I have been for just over 20 years. I have about 220 flights. I've been doing it for about almost 12 years now. Yeah, I've flown a little shy of 400 Young Eagles at this point.
I volunteer on the ground during our Young Eagle rallies. I got involved in the Young Eagles program right away when I joined the chapter. I've been involved for about 5 or 6 years.
I'm a Young Eagle pilot, have flown a little over 800 Young Eagles in the last 25 years.
I've been flying Young Eagles for about 14 years. I enjoy it so much that we just put a lot of time into it. So I'm almost 2,200 now.
My favorite part of Young Eagle flights is the smiles on the faces of kids when they get finished with their flight.
Compare their faces after they get back from a flight compared to before they go on the flight.
There's a whole different attitude in them. And if they had a
I'm almost 2,200 now.
My favorite part of Young Eagle flights is the smiles on the faces of kids when they get finished with their flight.
Compare their faces after they get back from a flight compared to before they go on the flight.
there's a whole different attitude in them. And if they
Not
had
sure
an
what
attitude
chapter
going in, it's gone.
was in
But
that
there's just
area.
an air of confidence when they come
We will find out.
out and accomplishment.
Some of the ones who
No, he doesn't go to the same charm school as Dotson. He runs the company. He's Dick is like the CEO or whatever.
are the most scared come back with the biggest smiles.
It's just as
Look
much
at his
enjoyment for me as it is for the kids that I take up flying. It's nice to see the reaction for someone who's never been in a small aircraft before.
And show them that they can actually fly an airplane by themselves. So that's very rewarding in itself.
Because you do give them the controls and you let them fly. And it's pretty exciting.
And the fact that we're training the next generation of pilots, air traffic controllers, mechanics, engineers, and everything aviation related.
We have an individual that I flew many years ago, pretty young at that time, that has really taken hold of aviation.
You're right, Shannon.
And
A
so
lot of people can be
he has
bought.
ambition now to go to college and get something aeronautical training. He wants to be a pilot, so we're working on figuring out how we can help him get that accomplished.
Mhm.
And I had a young lady who was about 15 and was totally uninterested. I mean, her mom kind of dragged her there.
Alex.
And we went flying, and I asked if she wanted to fly. She flew
Smugglers.
for a little bit, but she was taking pictures with the camera. And as we swung around to come back into land, she looked over and said, "This is the coolest thing I've ever done." And it's kind of hard to beat a reaction like that. In a lot of cases, it's been a career-making change for these young people. You can literally change a person's life by these flights. Come out and see what we do, right? You'll enjoy it.
Well, that was pretty cool. It's nice to see how
See my poker
excited
face, y'all?
and into it the pilots are.
Mhm.
Well, we are, and one thing I wanted to mention, especially for your audience, is all of our pilots, we have a youth protection program. So
Okay, right there's when he really gets into it, especially for your audience, because he knew what I was comparing him to or alleging. So, especially for my audience, he wants to bring up the protection rules and system that they have in place so that pilots don't essay the children. My face says it all. Yeah. Let's just go back a few
Wow.
seconds. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Listen to this.
And into it the pilots are.
Mhm.
well, we are, and one thing I wanted to mention, especially for your audience, is all of our pilots, we have a youth protection program. So every volunteer
I didn't bring it up first. He did. Just pointing that out too.
wanted to mention, especially for your audience, all of our pilots, we have a youth protection program. So every volunteer who works with kids does have a background check, and they go through a course, an online course, to understand, to make sure the kids feel comfortable, and they don't set up any scenarios that could be misinterpreted or anything like that.
Really?
Even something as simple as reaching across and fastening a seatbelt sometime could be misinterpreted, and we don't want
Wow.
that to happen. So we actually set up the scenarios for the pilots, saying we walk through it before. We welcome the parents to come out to the flight rallies and see what's going on. We encourage that. One interesting story that's come up through the years, and more than once, is parents bring their young eagle out to fly, and when they're done flying, the parents start saying, I've always been interested in learning how to fly. How do I do that? And we actually have a program for adults called Eagle Flights, where they mentor with the chapter, and as they go along through their own flight training. So somebody asked me one time, there's Young Eagles, is there a Bald Eagles program? Can we get into that? And I said, well, we don't call it that, but the Eagle Flights is something else out there. And then for the kids, we have follow-up programs. Certainly the scholarships are out there as well, if they're interested in pursuing. And in some chapters, we even have the Ray Scholarship Foundation has donated $1 million a year to give up to 100 kids full flight training scholarships when they reach that age where they can take flight training. And so if there's a young person out there really interested in it, they work with an EA chapter, and they could get their flight training fully paid for to earn that pilot's license.
Oh, that's something.
Jay has a question here. That's a pretty good one. Is how do the kids get chosen? Who gets to go up in the plane? So say you have 200 kids at one of these rallies, and I mean, can you take every kid for a ride, or how does that work again for choosing? Because we're kind of wondering, how did the Wells boys get picked out of all of the kids there, or how does that usually work?
Right. What we do is often we try to get as many pilots as we can. And so if a number of kids come out, say you have 200 kids, and we have had rallies, that's a very large rally. But if we have that many and we have enough pilots, well, that usually takes 20 to 25 pilots. We'll stay there until we fly every single kid. And if we can't, we'll make sure that we set up a date to bring the family back so that young person can get that airplane flight. We want to make sure that no kid is left behind on this, because you never know. The kid that we take flying may be the next astronaut. We don't know that, but we start someplace, and so we want to make sure every single kid gets a flight if they want a flight.
I like that.
He didn't answer you how the Wells boys got chosen.
Nope. Or any kids.
He deflected. He went from hell to hither and back.
Yep. No kid left behind.
And I don't like his kind of, I can't imitate it, but it's almost like a clown's, I'm so happy.
Just so happy. Yeah.
Skippy jumpy guy.
He'll
I don't
get
want to
into
get
that, Melissa.
I don't like this guy.
No, I mean, I agree. There's something off about it, and I mean, we're halfway into it with him. But
do you go back and ask him again? Do you remember about how the?
I think I do.
Okay, because it would be like you to ask again if you don't get an answer. I know that.
Yeah. Or ask it in a different
way. And I
way.
could see. Like right there, it looks like you're writing something down, and it's almost to me like I could be way off base, but it's like you're making a note. I'm going to ask this man again. How did the Wells?
I did. I had a notebook ready of stuff because
I know
he reached out to me, so I was like, okay, and yeah, I actually have that notebook somewhere.
So these flights, are they just like a few minutes? Like, do you ever fly them from one city to another or anything like that?
Generally, they're about 15 to 20-minute flights. A Young Eagles flight, the pilot will meet up with the young person. And what we always do first is do what we do as pilots every single time. And that's called a walk around. It's a part of the safety checks we do every time we go flying. We go around the airplane. We check the tires, the brakes. We look at the engine, check the fuel, all of those things. Make sure the control surfaces, the rudder, the ailerons, everything else are working properly. And we walk through that with the young person saying, this is what we do to prepare to fly safely every time. And then we'll go into the cockpit, we'll sit down, get ourselves buckled up, and then we'll go through the pre-flight checklist. This is what I do every time to make sure I fly safely. And then we'll take off on that flight and go up, usually over the young person's hometown for about 15 to 20 minutes, and start pointing out landmarks. Again, can you see your school? Can you see your house? And then if the young person feels confident enough,
So what I didn't ask him at that time was Tim Mullen
Wait.
questions.
Wait.
What?
Usually what we do is fly the child over their hometown and say, can you tell us where your school and your house is?
Mm-hmm.
Am I?
No, you're not crazy. And that is definitely a flag, a red flag. I mean, could be
That
good,
that was like boing, just like that. When he said, I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh, there's more.
We'll let them take the controls. Now, I still have one finger on the stick at that point, and I've got my feet on the rudder pedals to control it.
And do you
But
see
I'll
my
say,
face
okay,
too?
take the stick, move it to the left very gently, and watch the airplane turn. And when they do that, I say, you're flying the airplane. You've made that airplane turn. Now let's take it back the other way, and we'll do it the other way. And so we'll spend a little time doing that and go through it, explain the instruments, what they all do. I'm watching altitude, I'm watching the compass, I'm watching my airspeed, and so forth. And after about 20 minutes, we'll come back to the airport and land. And at that point, the young person gets a Young Eagle certificate. They go into what we call the world's largest logbook, which has all the names of all the Young Eagles since 1992. And then we'll send follow-up information to them. Everything from, you can take ground school free of charge. It's usually about $300 to do that online.
You hear this shit? Not only do we take you for a flight, we're mailing you stuff too. So we've got your name, we've got your addresses. Well, of course, because you're going up in a plane, right? So you probably got to sign your life away anyway. But they're telling them, come to school. We just flew you for free, but let us give you schooling to be a pilot for free. Yeah, it gets crazier.
But as a Young Eagle, you get that free if you want to pursue that.
I know how you
about
feel.
aviation. We'll start sending them things such as our.
Okay, their name in a book. You want me to pause it, hon?
Well, I got to go pee, honey. I'm going to carry my phone with me, though, okay?
Okay, I'll keep playing it then.
I'll be watching. Cover me.
Comic book. We have our own superhero. Donated to us by Stan Lee. Some of your audience may know him as the creator of Spider-Man and the Hulk and other heroes.
Okay, so he's tying to being friends with Hollywood people. Now, let's not forget that the guy who is friends with Tim Mullen, who donated $25,000, has even been to the Rose Garden, like 4-time Rose Garden parties or conferences, whatever, at the White House, okay?
Well, 5 years ago, he donated a superhero named Avior to the Young Eagles program. And that's our superhero. We put out comic books about 4 times a year with the adventures of Avior. And that's sent available to the Young Eagles. So those type of things.
Red
so
flag
if there's
again,
interest there,
y'all.
we want to make sure we encourage that and nurture that.
Could be normal. Could be red flag.
And I see Special Spills has put up the link to Avior right there. So if you want to see some of the past issues of Avior, go to that link and you see the first 10 editions that we put out.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
We have that. I want to show that other clip
One more.
too. Yeah. The empowered couple empowering kids. I liked this one too. It made me smile.
All right, we'll just.
No,
jump
Bella
right-
Vita, she did not. Trust me. We were, Jay and I were speaking privately. She was being very nice and cordial for the live because, I mean, of course, but no. Our private conversations were definitely, I mean, she was all for me doing this. We'll put it like that. I don't want to put words into her mouth or whatever, but no, just because you see her being nice and cordial during a live, I mean, we don't want to bash the guy or he's not going to come and talk to us, right? Although he did reach out to me after saying he was possibly involved in helping with trafficking, whether knowing it or not knowing it or whatever. But that's how this whole interview came about.
This one.
Yeah, he's just sitting there with a perma smile. Who sits there with a smile on their face for an hour after someone just said you helped with child trafficking? It's fucking weird.
Google, show me the front door.
I heard a noise too.
Build your helpful home. Save on
Okay.
Google Nest bundles.
Hey guys, I'm going to share with you
Sorry,
3 things
guys.
you need to start doing in Photoshop.
when I was a little kid, I just loved being around airplanes. I love being around people who were passionate about airplanes, and that just fueled my passion.
And I asked him too, and I think it comes up here, or unless we already passed it near the beginning, I'm not sure because I did fast forward through some of it. But now I forgot what I was going to say.
And I love seeing the smiling faces on the little kids and how excited they get, all the questions they bombard you with. So that's why I signed up to be a Young Eagles pilot, and I've probably given 30 or 40 plus Young Eagles rides in my Cessna 120. The kids love it. I can fly low and slow, safe, but the kids love it. They ask questions. I love talking them through. I love showing them how things work. I love the mechanical side of things, and just a great hands-on way for kids to get involved in aviation.
My very first flight was with the Young Eagles. And I went up, the gentleman named Allan, and we went up a couple hundred feet or so after takeoff, and he goes, all right, you have the flight controls, very calmly. And here I am as this teenager taking the controls
Right,
for the
Penny.
first time of a beautiful vintage airplane. And that had me from there. I actually went on years and years later. Now I'm an airline captain, and that really spurred it. You know, I had the interest, I had the love, but that confirmed that, you know, one, I could do it, and
Yes,
and
Sherry.
two, yeah, I loved it, and I haven't been able to stop loving it since. So Corbin and I, being a young couple wanting to give to aviation as much as possible, right now we're working on our skills and becoming the best aerobatic pilots that we can be air show pilots. And then here at Timber House, we're going to be building a large hangar with plenty of space to start our own program where, you know, he's an A&P, so he's able to work on the planes, but then we're also able to instruct. And so we want to actually create it as a community center. So start out the young kids in RC airplanes, because this has been one of the longer standing RC fields as well for a while. Start them out there and then start teaching them. We'll get a 2-seat aerobatic airplane and start teaching people how to fly. So the point where, you know, some people bring their kids to football practice, and we want some of them bringing them to aerobatic practice.
Oh, really cool.
Yep, so that, you know, and I know Corbin and Renee, I've met them through the years, and they are just all in. They're dedicated to letting kids have the same opportunity that they had. So I'm really happy, Cher, that you found that clip, because it really talks about some of the young pilots out there. I see a question on the side. Is it just for children in America, or is it worldwide? It's worldwide. If there's an EA member there and who's
No kid
ready to
left
fly
behind.
kids, we'll make sure that they have the opportunity to fly Young Eagles. We have flown Young Eagles on every continent except Antarctica. And if we ever find any kids in Antarctica, we'll fly them there. But so it's
Nothing
fun.
is
We
ever
have
for
chapters in
free.
South Africa, for instance, who have flown kids and do it regularly. Chapters in Brazil and Argentina.
So again, you go there, you obviously give them your name, your address, sign your life away. They take your child for 20 minutes or so up in a plane, drive over their school and house, and have the children point it out to them. Okay. And then fly back, do it again, and then land. And then after that, they mail you and offer your children free pilot school to become a pilot, all for free. No child worldwide left behind. That's not alarming.
And this is funded by the EAA Foundation, he said.
This is all ran. Yep, the EAA. He is Dick Knapp.
So is it I'm
CEO.
I'm sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
So is it a 501c3 foundation?
Not sure about that.
Well, I'm going to look and I'm going to look at that foundation. May I respond to someone in?
Of course you can.
May I
I'd love
respond to
you
someone in
show
the
about
chat?
that. Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, let me scroll back up. I think it's hang on. Kawinky Dink. I do agree that this gentleman's manner is different from ours. It most certainly is. And backgrounds and lifestyles are different as well. But neither of us has said that he is suspect.
Right.
We are merely looking at the footage because we're very curious about how Summerwell's brothers were chosen to be taken on a flight. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. And
I want to know.
Dawn's
I want to
sending
know.
those pictures out.
Yes, I want to know who the pilot was. I've actually seen, and I wish I could find it, that footage, because it has the number of the airplane on it.
Mm.
No.
Yeah, we'll definitely dig into this
So
again.
I just, yeah, and I didn't mean to sound, but I'm kind of blunt. And so we're not at all accusing this man of anything.
No,
We're
he
merely
knows.
looking
He
at
knows how we
how
got
did
here.
how did Summermoon's brothers end up getting a flight? That's what I want to know.
He knows that how this even happened.
And-
Like I said, he saw my platform, reached out to me, asked me to take down what I said. And that actually led to, well, instead of that, why don't you just come on and answer questions? And he did.
Yeah.
And I was straight up with him and said, my research in the Summer Wells case led me to your program. And it did. That's how we were there that day. That's how we're here today. And so for him to jump on and want to interview after saying, take this down, or, I could sue you. And okay, well, I found you. This is because, I found you researching Summer Wells case. And, I sent him the pictures of her brothers. And then it was, okay, yeah, let's do the interview. That's weird to me as well.
Well, and the fact that he didn't answer you, that really is needling me.
Yep,
You ask him
again.
You ask him a direct question. And like I said, he went hell to hither and didn't answer it.
Yes. And
he didn't even answer how the children in general are chosen. But you specifically asked him, how were the Wells boys chosen?
Yeah.
And he just blew it off. That bothers me. So.
Before they took him out, it's all entangled in this web of deceit. Yep. Now, I also want to point out that multiple times now we have had TBI say that Summer Wells's case falls outside of the norm. And in my opinion, yes, children go missing all the time. Children get lost. Parents make horrible mistakes and, let's say, leave their children in a hot car or something like that. Okay. Out of the normal would be trafficking. Maybe not out of the normal for Tennessee, but that is not a typical missing child case. The typical missing child case in unfortunately usually relates to either a family or a loved one taking the child and then the child comes back, or statistically, being real, the parents had done something bad. Right? Outside of the norm, which TBI continues to say, in my opinion, would be a child taken for owing drug money and trafficking. That is outside of the norm.
And when we stop and think about how many cases, now it's been months since I've done the research on how many cases of missing children does TBI handle annually. So I don't remember the numbers. Okay. But you know that it is a significant number. Northeast Tennessee is the hub of child sex trafficking in the United States of America.
Yeah.
Okay. So we know TBI handles a shitload of these cases. So for their public information officer to say this case is out of the norm, and she said it within hours of Summer having been reported missing. They had already determined it was outside the norm. So in my opinion, as advocates for these children, we must think outside the norm.
Someone said, okay, what does that mean, Brandy Gray's to pay? There's a poll. What is it to pay? I don't know. I'll have to look at that. I don't even know what that is. To pay it forward. I have paid it forward lots of times with money that I make. I've done several fundraisers not just for Summer Wells and Churchill Rescue Squad before we knew everything there, but for other organizations as well. Is that what you mean? I don't know. Or for me to win money. If I win money from a YouTuber, it's going to be donated to a different charity. Just, I don't know what that means, but thank you, I think. What was, okay, there was, can I give you a link in chat on P's got in videos that they are searching to identify? Of course. Yeah, yep, you're a mod. You can share if you think it's important and would like to share it. Of course you can. Yep. Now, I have to run to Walmart with the hubby to restock our house on groceries after our trip, and then I'm live again tonight. So I'd like to paste that. Please watch through it in full and check out their website, which in this video, it's in the description and everything, because that was part of it. He wanted me to share everything. Check it out for yourself, because I would love to get together again with you after you've looked at it all, Liplocked, and discuss again.
I would love it.
Your thoughts.
I'm really enjoying discussing these matters with you.
Me also.
I really am. So yes. And again, I'm sorry I derailed you from us talking about Jimmy Ray Neal. I know that was part of the plan, but if we want to talk about him the next time, I studied up on him. So
yep, and I still got to do more digging into the Jimmy Ray Neal as well. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure what day. I'm thinking Sunday we'll do one of the we'll call a summer well study session where we'll dig into all of these, and sure, we'll get some Red Bull. I actually have a Monster in the fridge. I'll save it for then. And we'll do another study session, which I love because I call it an all-nighter. It's not quite an all-nighter because I can't do like 24/7 like Jody Sue, because Cher needs beauty sleep. But we do like 7 or 8 hours, which for me is a long time, and it gives other people, we start at like 7, and it gives other people around the globe a chance to hop on for a bit too.
Yeah.
So I like doing that. So I think I'll plan that for Sunday evening, and we'll just stream as long as we all can keep our eyes and open and focused, and we'll bring them all up. It'll just be a good old study session, open panel, as long as everyone is respectful to each other. So you're not allowed to go after my mods. People can trash me all they want. I expect that, but you're not allowed to go after my mods. I am protected. So the panel will be open to discuss and study, which that's what it's all about, and researching these people that surround, or somehow we have found ourselves looking at and researching due to researching more and digging in Summer and her brother's case. So I'll set that up for Sunday evening.
And I'm almost always here.
Yep. And I will, Liplock, why don't you email me a charity that's near and dear to you, and we'll set that up for Sunday evening for the study session.
Thank you.
So
it's really swell. Okay. And I just want to remind your audience, just because when I'm not on panel, I'm in chat and I'm watching you guys.
Yep. That's how a lot of us are. Just because you don't see us chatting even doesn't mean we ain't watching.
That's right. Okay, honey, I'm going to drop down so you can sign out, okay?
Okay, thank you. Much
thank
love.
you. Thank you for having me. I love you too, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So we will get into more. I've got a couple other shows planned, so a little bit different. But Sunday we'll do a Summer Wells study session. And I will repeat again, though, as of today, there is no breaking news on Summer Wells' case. There's no new information as of right now today, and there has not been, okay? So don't forget that. But we like to keep her case alive, keep her name alive, and not forget about her. So we still study, we still research, we still open our eyes in the morning when we wake up and Google Summer Wells updates, right? So that's how we know to be able to keep her name alive however we can, so we don't forget. Because like I said from the beginning, this case has been designed to go cold, which sucks. And they cannot make me feel any different. It is my opinion that this was designed a certain way. Okay. So unless you hear it from TBI or on the news, not a YouTuber who's reaching, girl, the arms be tired. The reach, okay? There is no new news. And my Sharpie said so. So you know it's true. Okay? My Sharpie on a piece of paper said so. All right? So I will see you guys at 7 o'clock, 8 p.m. Central. So what is that? Like 2 hours and 45 minutes? I love y'all. And we will talk soon. Bye.